How do blind people dream? Do all blind people dream the same? Short answer, no, not at all. And so these are just my personal experiences as a blind woman, how I dream, and at the end I'll also share how my dreams have changed over the years. I've been legally blind since I was 12 years old, and I do recall some of my dreams as a child, and so I'm going to share how they've changed as I have progressively lost more and more vision. So here we go. Welcome back, y'all. Today's video I hope you find just as interesting as I do. I'm really curious. Pop down in the comment section as you listen. Tell me, how do you dream? How does it seem to be the same or different from my experiences? I would love to hear that. Also, guys, if you are a new viewer on the channel, welcome. My name is Cindy. I would love to have you part of my community here on Seeing Blind. So please smack that subscribe button and the notification bell for more content on blindness, disability, parenting, discussions, especially tips and hacks on how to make your life easier. So how do I dream as a blind person? I guess I do have some visual elements to my dreams. There are some visual imagery and such, but they are extremely vague and dull. They lack a lot of detail. There's just not a lot of priority. I don't focus on the images as much during the dreams. They're also mostly just still images, not a lot of movement unless it's extremely relevant to the story or whatever it is I'm dreaming about. So in that situation, sometimes it's kind of like the Harry Potter scenes of the newspapers where you have the photography on the headline and there's little bouts of movement. That's kind of, I guess, sometimes the way it is. But for the most part, they just kind of unfold like a story or a narrator or like an audiobook kind of thing. The emphasis is more on the words and the descriptions that I'm using, as if it's just kind of I'm creating and imagining everything and telling a story. There are some other, conversations, people's voices, but for the most part, it's just kind of my mind speak, I guess, if you will. And I do have a lot more emphasis on my other senses in my dreams. So if there's something I'm feeling, I definitely feel it with a lot more intensity than I do experience the visual elements, for example. And the same thing goes with smells. I recall them a lot more vividly than I do the visual imagery. So really there is a strong correlation there. It seems like as I lose my vision, that is also reflected in my dreams. They just don't have a lot of imagery to them, and what imagery is present, there's just not a lot of emphasis. They're not very detailed. They're just not important to the overall story. It's not something I wake up and remember the imagery before the story. That kind of takes me into how my dreams have changed as my sight loss has progressed. I do recall some of my dreams as a child being a lot more packed full of colors and detail and imagery and movement, especially. For example, I recall dreaming sometimes with playing with my neighbors and my friends and such, and they would have for example, a dog, and this dog would like run up and down the yard and his tail would wag back and forth, and those are types of movements I remember being part of my dreams, and the details and all that, the visual imagery, but I don't have them present in my dreams today. I don't have that much, I guess, mental effort put into the imagery, if you will. It's one of those things where it's like you understand it but you still can't remember it, kind of thing. So I know they were more intense and more vivid and more live action and more clear, but I don't remember how much so, if that makes sense. It's like I just can't remember that much detail. It's been a long time since I've been able to see that well. So I have experienced a very high correlation with how I experience visual images in my dreams with how I experience them when I'm awake. So as my vision has progressed and my vision has become less detailed, less contrast, as I've started to rely more on my other senses, as I have started listening to more audio description, more audio books, I begin to experience the world differently. has a direct correlation and impact on my dreams, and I start to dream that way as well. It does take a bit of transition time. It's not anything that happens as quickly as my sight changes. There is a lag there, but I think as our memories kind of begin to fade, just as, you know, when we went on vacation 5 years ago, we may not recall some of the things we did and saw and heard during that vacation. Our memories fade over time. The same situation, I think, occurs with our dreams. And so as my vision has decreased, so has the imagery in my dreams. So I find it very interesting to reflect on. I'm very, very curious. Down in the comment section, I can't wait to read your all's comments, how your dreams are the same and different. I encourage you to read everyone's comments as well. Definitely check out the description box for more interesting video ideas, and you could check out the videos on the right and left of me now also for more inspiration on the channel. So guys, that's it for me. I'll see you in the next video. Blessings to you and yours.